Hello and welcome back to HateWatchers. We're back in the trenches again with our breakdown and review of Episode 3 of Halo Season 2, entitled Visegrad. Let's get right into the breakdown. Spoilers ahead. We kick things off on Reach, where Master Chief and his Silver team are taking a break from searching for the missing Cobalt team to look for leprechauns, hoping to get an early jump on St. Paddy's Day. They come across a suspicious radio tower, putting out a promising signal, but once inside they find out it was just a trick.
What the hell was that?
Elsewhere, Corporal Perez wakes up from a 6-hour siesta. Just when Master Chief has the Leprechaun cornered, the military police show up to arrest Silver Team, giving the Leprechaun just enough time to slip away.
You'll never get me pot of gold!
Then Master Chief calmly explains that he's actually a sovereign citizen and cannot be arrested. Abruptly, we're sent over to Ackerson, who's listening to his father's war stories from deep inside the brothels of Vietnam.
I peed on him. What could he do?
Ackerson makes an excuse to leave, and the old man promptly tells his son that if he can't handle a few war stories, he might as well go jump off that bridge. This old man clearly has dementia and has forgotten that his son is the evil villain this season. Back home, Master Chief and Silver Team are getting their master cheeks clapped by the Admiral, who reprimands them for going off mission, and then he orders Master Chief to go to therapy since he's so emotional. Revisiting Rubble, we follow Stronghand's wife as she tries to impress the Poors with her vastly superior wardrobe when she falls victim to a knife attack. But it's actually just Kwan, who tells her that she and her son need to escape this rock. On his way to therapy, Master Chief, with the help of CGI, gets his own Captain America elevator scene. Riz visits Beefy Wonder so that we can be shown that he has a boyfriend, and is gay. Elsewhere, Kai is telling Ackerson exactly what they need to do to make this show better.
We're not built to sit around and wait. We need to be in the fight.
Kwan and Stronghand's wife, whose name I don't know because who gives a shit, try and escape with her son, but she's going way too slow and doesn't make it. She gives up and tells Kwan to get her son off of Rubble so that we have a reason to keep Kwan in the show. Back home, Cobalt team is dead at the hands of the Covenant, and Ackerson is going to cover up their deaths, listing the soldiers as missing, not dead. Based on his calculations,
Nerd, you're a fucking nerd.
Ackerson believes that they can't defeat the Covenant, so they won't evacuate the planet, which would cause chaos. He asks the Admiral if he's on board with this plan.
Can I count on you? Go fuck yourself.
But it's unclear at this time. We've apparently gotten our fill of good scenes actually related to the main conflict of the season, however, as we head straight back to these shitheads. Priya Patel tells Master Chief, "You need to eat," and tries to force feed him. He goes on to complain that he knows the Covenant is here, but the former Admiral tells him he's just a dog who is supposed to follow orders, because it turns out she isn't actually a former Admiral. Then we drop the tension immediately and hop over to Dr. Halsey, who's getting a new cellmate. Stronghand's old crew want to know where a supposed hidden treasure is, because this show can't possibly get any more off base. Let's go on a treasure hunt. When she won't give up any information, they shove this lady in an airlock and start venting the oxygen. But she's saved by Kwan. And it looks like Kwan's killing spree isn't over now that she has the taste for blood. Master Chief goes looking for Corporal Perez, but her mom says she went down for another siesta. Ackerson gives his dad a cyanide capsule and then brings in a clone hooker so he can relive his glory days in Vietnam one more time. Master Chief finds Perez in church, where Perez has translated a message from the Covenant intended for the people of Reach, which foretells their arrival and coming dominion over the planet. Then the church gets firebombed by an angsty atheist, and the episode comes to an end. Well, we've reached that point in the video where we have to decide if this episode was a great watch or a hate watch. But this episode is going down as a debate watch. There's a slight improvement in this episode over the last two in terms of its narrative focus and moving the main story along, but there's still just too many distractions from that core plot that keep the story from gripping you. So while there were some positive steps forward in this episode, it still doesn't instill any confidence that the creators understand what most everyone wants out of this show. Things look poised to be significantly better next episode though, as the Covenant are finally here, which should force them to sideline these extraneous storylines involving tertiary characters that have been given outsized roles when looking at the greater narrative. In short, more pew-pew and less poo-poo next episode. Speaking of pieces of shit, for the second episode in a row, Kwan is the main source of action in this show. A Halo show. starring Master Chief in all his glory, is relying on Kwan for the majority of its action through 3 episodes. Just wrap your head around that. And needless to say that while this episode was ever so slightly better, it still has things like Kwan, like Master Chief dealing with office politics while strutting around out of his armor, like third-tier characters struggling with their emotions. So the things that turned people off from this show in the first place haven't gone anywhere. And it's a shame for this episode in particular because it actually had a fairly thrilling opening sequence. Master Chief and Silver Team, on the hunt for a missing squadron, come across an abandoned communications tower that's broadcasting an eerie, indecipherable message. An unexplained rhythmic clattering emanates from down the stairs, slowly drawing the cautious Silver Team closer and closer. And just before Master Chief opens the mysterious door, the military police show up and stop him, ordering him back home. And this scene was a great metaphor for the show as a whole. Just when things are getting interesting and exciting and cool, just when things are hitting a fever pitch, the literal fun police show up, putting an end to any hope of something awesome happening in this show. And just as the characters got arrested and punished, they also punish us as we're pulled away from a promising scene and shipped back to these incredibly shitty storylines. Oh well, things might be looking up getting to see the fall of Reach and its promised action, so perhaps next week, if only for a week, we might be able to enjoy a good Halo show. We'll just have to wait and see. Comment below, what did you think of this episode if you watched it? Do you think the darker tone and tint to this season have made things better, or do you think it's just another filter over the same crappy picture? What's the most satisfying way you can think of that this show can kill off Kwan? Let your imagination run free and let us know in the comments. And remember to like the video if you liked it, and consider subscribing to HateWatchers to stay up to date on this 2nd season of Halo. Thank you for going 187 on the Fun Police with us today, and we'll catch you on the next one.